Hey everybody, welcome to Erroneous Thoughts. This is where me, Aaron, just kind of discusses erroneous things, erroneous thoughts, dad jokes. So I went to Tennessee this past week for my nephew's wedding. And I thought I'd share with you some thoughts of my trip and things that I learned, did, all that good stuff. Went a little cowboy going to Tennessee. A little more cowboy in me than I did. I have a better understanding about the culture. I want to start out that I have never been to Tennessee before, but my nephew lives there. That's where he was going to have his wedding. So I was like, all right, I guess we're going to Tennessee. I have my own preconceived judgments and notions and ideas of what that means to me. I am a city boy, a suburban boy, and that's no judgment or hate to people who like country life. I just typically I'm fine with going to nature. I like nature. I like hikes. I can camp out, all that stuff. But to spend time in country is not necessarily my vibe. But I'm an open-minded person. I like to try new things. So let's do this thing. Let's go to Tennessee. I will be quite honest, though. I was nervous going. First of all, just to travel in general at this time, as you know, we're hearing so much about TSA and planes and things of that nature, and going to somewhere that is that's a little typically more conservative, and I am a homosexual individual going to Tennessee. So there are just your own judgments before you even have experienced something that you just kind of have had a blanket statement about. And so I had those nerves going to Tennessee, and I'll be honest, I was like, I must love my nephew a whole lot because I'm going to Tennessee for him. So with all that being said, the travel was really easy. My first time wearing cowboy boots, but they were gonna make my bag over the weight limit, so I had to wear my cowboy boots with the typical like comfortable clothing I wear when I fly. I landed in Nashville, smooth. Everything was great. I was like, okay, so Nashville is a cool city, and then we go in to Tennessee. We're going deep country now. I'm in it. The way it was like there's like this houses and upon houses, but not like back to back, like huge plots of land for each house and different kinds of houses. Like there would be like a mansion, and then the next house would be a shack. Wildly different kinds of houses as well as like class. Interesting to me, like to see that there's these rich people, and then next door maybe people who are not as wealthy. Everyone is very separate. You get land when you're living in Tennessee. As we're going deeper and deeper in and deeper, I'm like, okay, we're there now. No, we're traveling on these backwoods kind of roads to get places. We're staying in cabins, but like these are like real cabins. These aren't like glam camp cabins. Like these are like, I don't know, people cleaned them kind of cabins. Like literally deer chilling outside of our cabin. Like they're just like, hey, what's up? Which to me, as city boys, it's a lot. It's different. It's a whole different kind of lifestyle. Beautiful green. Like that color of green I've never seen in my life. It was so beautiful. I definitely had Friday 13th, Jason vibes. I'm a horror boy, so I definitely was doing. I was digging that, but once it was dark and nighttime, could not see in front of you. Like, scary, which is fun to me. I like scary, but also there was actually like real scary to me too as well that was happening. Like y'all, when I say I was in deep country, there's like Confederate flags like just out at people's houses and things like that. That's just not a normal thing to me, and I don't think it should be a normal thing, period. But that's where we were. And my niece also told me that like we're right outside of like where the KKK started in Tennessee, I guess, but like that's where I was. So I was nervous. She told me like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna be like in it. But like I'm telling you, we could not. I was like, how about pizza? Can you order pizza? No, they don't come out here. DoorDash doesn't come out here. Like, people aren't going to come out here to get you. People might come out here to get you, look out for the banjo sounds. So it was like a 30-minute drive to get to like any kind of store that I would regularly shop at. Place we were staying at, oh gosh, Horton. Okay, I think it's Howard Horton. I don't know. I remember Horton because I was always Horton. Here's like this place we were staying at is like middle of the woods, like I said. But like the cabin itself also was like I was like, oh, I'll just sleep on the pull-out bed. Y'all, me and my niece, we pulled out that bed, saw what we saw, looked at each other, didn't say a word, looked at each other, pulled it back in, pushed it back in. Like dirt fell out of it, stains on the bed itself. This was woodsy. I went to the gym while I was there, so we went to like a crunch that was like 30 minutes out. And the lady at the reception desk was like, where are you staying? We told her, she's like, I've lived here my whole life, and I've never heard of that place. That's how deep. But then eventually we get to be with the family. I got to see my nephew's dad's ranch, which was awesome. It's huge. It was just great to be with family members that you haven't seen in a while. I helped, raise my nephews and my niece when they were young. I raised them on all the Green Days and Say Anythings and Good Charlotte music. Took them to concerts. Showed them their first R-rated movie. Like the age difference basically between me and my sister is the same age difference between me and the oldest. They were like so ingrained in my life. So I have a really special relationship with them. So we, as adults, we really haven't connected in that way. So it was nice to like reconnect and see them. I'm cool being me anywhere. I don't have like this thing where like I need to calm or quiet myself down. But I am a person that's like, if I'm in the culture, I want to be in the culture. So I was like trying to do my version of Tennessee cowboy. But I think I still stuck up at least sort of them. Maybe it's because we were in a small town. Like who is they know these are the strangers. These are not the people. One thing is not like the other. But also maybe one thing is not like the other is also a possibility. My niece had lived there, but she wanted to show me parts of Nashville, and I was like, I just want to know. I typically, when I go to cities, like I said, I like to be part of the culture, so I want to dress how Aaron would be if he lived in Tennessee, right? As well as I want to experience always like the gay culture of a city when I go travel anywhere. Anywhere I've been, I want to like experience the public transport, how people live there, but also what the gay culture is like. So on the Friday night, I was like, we gotta go to a club called Play there. And I'm telling you, that was such a fun time. So much fun to be with my niece and her boyfriend. And we got to watch drag, which is such an important thing right now of everything that's going on, especially in Tennessee. And to be with my niece and give her dollar and be, go give your dollars to her. You know, like it was just such a special thing because it's part of my culture, sharing it with her. And we just danced and sang the whole night. It was so much fun. And I live around the West Hollywood area. Seeing the WeHo boys is very different than the Nashville boys. The Nashville gay culture was so like alternative gays, which I loved. Like, you know, for lack of better word, like hipster type of kind of gays to see. I mean, there was all different kinds, but it was nice to see that. It wasn't everyone just like beautiful, perfect, pretty. It was just a whole different kind of scene, and as well as a lot more straight males that I was expecting. I was expecting, you know, female allies all the time, especially in Nashville. There was a lot of straight men there that were just having a good time, which was such a nice thing to see as well. Great time had by all. And then came the wedding. The wedding day was just so magical and beautiful. And they wanted to keep it really small, just intimate for people that were really part of their relationship or in the family or their friends. So it was only like 50 people, which I loved. I went full cowboy, y'all. My nephew made a joke with his mom, my sister, that what should we wear or whatever. And he was like, well, Aaron, just don't tell her not to wear his crop top and short shorts. And I knew he knew as a joke, but in my head I was like, well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna go full cowboy. So I had a whole loud orange, well, not loud, burnt orange, but you know, very different orange suit. Got cowboy boots, had a cowboy hat, a cowboy belt with the A on it. When I showed up, people were already there. I made an entrance by accident. By accident, I really wasn't. I was just trying to go, but like the way it worked was where the walkway was also the walkway for the runway for the wedding. So thankfully, my nephew loved my outfit. I was like, I love what you're wearing, and gave me a hug. I didn't want to be respectful in that way, but I had to go full cowboy and be a little ridiculous. But yeah, it was just a beautiful wedding, and my other nephew was his best man, and my niece was in the wedding, and my nephew gave a beautiful speech at the wedding. And we danced in the rain, which was really, really cool moment because I just love to dance. The ranch was beautiful. He was back at his dad's place. You know, typically there can be a lot of drama between families that are divorced families. It was nice that there wasn't much drama between anyone. Actually, there wasn't any. There wasn't any at all. And we had an after party in the barn that he stays in his RV area. Just really special, really great to connect with everybody, reconnect with others. The last day I was there, I finally got to experience Broadway because we did go to Nashville, but we went into the gay club, and the gay club is a little bit out on the outskirts of Broadway. So I had to see Broadway, which now that I've been there, I would, if I, before I was like, I'm never coming back here. Tennessee's just not my vibe. I'm not a country boy. There's no shade to those that are country people. I love that. So it wasn't for me. But when I was in Nashville, I was like, oh yeah, I kind of get this. I get this vibe. I'm not a country boy in the way of like songs, music, but I got it. Like there was different, it was a city, very different than outside of Nashville. It was fun. We were celebrating my nephew getting married, obviously, and he took me to Luke Bryan's spot, and then we went to Jelly Rolls. It was great to reconnect with my nephew because I felt like he was growing away from me, growing apart from me, which was fine. That's what should happen in a way of like they should spread their wings. But we haven't really like communicated a lot, and we kind of just like snapped right back into. There was a time when we were both staying in the same room because there was no room left in the house as I was transitioning back to masters. All long story, but we would stay up at night and just like talk about deep things, talk about his life, and he was a teenager, what he wanted to do. And it was nice that like we had this moment up on a rooftop and just were able to talk about life, talk about the family, talk about what he wants, talk about how he supports me still. It just felt like it snapped right back. And when people are so far away or things are so far away, you can like kind of create your whole idea of things and like, oh well, now they're like this probably, and they probably don't care about me. And you create this scenarios in your head that you know aren't true even when you're doing it. You know this person, but it was nice to see that we still connect in such an awesome way. It was really special. And then he danced. He's not a dancer. He doesn't like, I mean, I think he dances, but like he went off like dancing to songs. And it was beautiful to see his mom and my niece and him all dancing together. You know, in the whole rush of weddings, you don't really get a moment with the bride or groom. And so I got to even have a little moment with his bride. And I'm so proud of her because she's showing him Golden Girls and Murder She Wrote. He's falling in love with Murder She Wrote and Golden Girls. So I mean, she's awesome for many reasons, but that is an awesome moment for me as a gunkle, gay uncle. So then you know how awesome she is just based off of that. Great time. So here's my erroneous thoughts about my experience with Tennessee. I had my own preconceived notions, and then being in Tennessee, I really was pushed into the deep end of conservative country. I feel like I realized something because the country people, they're so separate. Like they are miles away from each other. People were very nice in the country, and like if you were cut someone off, people were like, you go in the car. People would talk to you and say hello to you. So they're very separate, yet outwardly small talk, nice. City life, suburban life, you know, people are much more close and on top of each other. We don't really make eye contact or talk to each other and kind of don't greet each other. We're separate in a different kind of way. In the country, they're separate like by miles, by actual physical separation. In the city or suburban life, we're much more closer to each other, but maybe emotionally separate and have distance. Being able to also live vicariously through my nephew's dad. They're ex-cops, conservative leaning. There were Trump things in there. To be in even a cop's house, an ex-cop's house, is unsettling to me. But in talking to them, I think we all just want to be able to live the life that we want to live, and we want to feel safe, and we just want to protect the things that we love. We don't want them taken away from us. And we want to be seen and heard, know that what we have to offer the world is of value. And I think that we've been taught we are each other's other. The other is going to take it away from you. We have an extreme scarcity mindset. I think that we're much more connected to each other than we think. And we may have separation and divisions that are actual physical separations or emotional. And we need to connect more and bridge those gaps. And I still have things that we're going to disagree on, period. I always say there's my Gandalf things, like thou shall not pass things. Yeah, like you should not have Confederate flags, and I'm an anti-racist individual. Can't make everything a thou shall not pass, or else we're never going to find the middle. And it's not for everyone to bridge the gaps. I understand that. And this is something that I have learned, that I was really scared and nervous of this place and made it a bigger monster and made it like, I shouldn't even go there. That's not for me. And really divided myself from that because of my own fears and anger. But I want to see real change. I want to see progress happen. If we all just want to be seen and heard, and we all just want to protect what is ours, I think that that's like a great place to at least start the conversation. You know, and this is a generalization. Obviously, we're all very nuanced individuals in this world, and human beings are complicated, and we gotta stop letting others divide us. I think I definitely was changed after this. Well, that's the thing I really took away. We are much more similar than we are different. You let me know in the comments, though, what y'all think about all this. That's my erroneous thought.